live. We are in game. We are paused. Wang, if you want to roll back to
user left your channel.
809, and folks, don't you worry. I got a on-call streamer here that I have a feeling we're going to need shortly. I'm going to try to troubleshoot this before game 3 to see if we can find any resolution here. Not sure what's going on. OBS is crashing, so just out of nowhere, no warning. But with that being said, I think we're ready to potentially resume this game.
We were resuming at 809?
I'm at 809. Yeah, this is perfect. I'm letting everyone do a run through of the ads without missing anything.
Good. All right, I'm actually, tell me when you start. I'm actually at 810, but I don't know if I can.
I'm going to go live at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 809, 810.
Beautiful.
All right, so sorry about that. Anyone that was locked in an ad, I do have a streamer on call. Grifty will take over if this happens again. He is actively spectating the game now. My OBS is crashing. I'm not sure why. Obviously, you can't really troubleshoot it while there's a game actively going on. So that's the plan. I will probably... Oh, but it doesn't matter. We got a gank. I do not have directed camera on. I have manual camera on. Mr. Tuesday, welcome to the club. So we're going to turn directed camera back on. At least manual camera was in the right place.
Yeah, and I casted a little bit of this in Twitch chat, so you may get a little bit of spoiler alert. But, you know, as we see the Flex Panthers start to go up to Dragon, taking a little bit better of a Dragon fight than they did last time around. Mr. Tuesday still coming up from the Death Realm. But 30 and Master Splinter in the area. I don't know what they're trying to contest there.
Yeah, maybe gonna try for a smite steal, but he's not gonna get it. Now Tree getting the knockups here. This is a lot of danger for the blue team here as Salvo getting a really good ult up, but despite that, everyone is so low enough. Best is one maybe here to mop up, and this maybe is gonna not be a very worth it Dragon. Is Zach gonna go down? Can they get Tree as well? I'm thinking that answer is going to be yes. Shortly, no. Tree with the fancy feet.
And Death Timer's low enough that Mr. Tuesday was able to easily walk back up lane by the time that drag went down. They didn't have a ton of damage on it. As their mid laner kind of stayed handling Anivia.
Splinter!
Oh. What?
Maybe he's maybe never seen Anivia before. I know that champ's kind of new.
You know, maybe he just knew how much better than he is than the other team. So he's like, lazy lads, you haven't made a ton. Here's a free 150 gold extra on that scale.
That's so nice of him to care about the future of the Baddie League like that.
You know, you got to hand it off to somebody, and Lazy Lads is one of our newer players. You hope he comes back next season.
Yeah, Splinter with I've got 2 kids, but why not adopt a third? Alright, I am so losing track of this game with everything going on, but I'm not losing track of the bad boy who has been a very bad boy in this game. Thunder with yet another.
Man, Olaf is such an impressive character, and we've watched Dan for, this is the 3rd week in a row that he gets rolled in top lane. I mean, you think of players like Bong Crank are going to be the ones like just getting dominated, but I feel like this is week number 3 that we've just seen Dan do so bad up there.
Yeah, we see Zach coming in on the flank. You're going to get a nice knock onto the Silas. Going to be a lot of CC, but Lazy did not have the spells to really dump the damage there. The ult's going very wide, but despite that, not going to matter. A really bad, well, all right, maybe a necessary flash from the best. This going to force Lazy to flash, but still another kill in this mid lane.
And another shutdown on top of that. Anivia is gonna be real rolling.
Taking a peek at the gold here between these players, and man, this back to the bad boy for a moment. Is the situation? It really is kind of sad. It's kind of like when you're watching your parents like slowly deteriorate, like they get early onset fucking dementia, and it's like they're no longer quite what you remember them being, and that person's never coming back. That's how I feel about the bad boy skill. But in the bot lane, I feel like we got some good boys. Renai with this incredible pressure. Gonna force flashes out of both Tuesday and 30. A panic hook out.
Are you gonna ask if we're gonna put Dan in
it may not matter because Salvo is maybe playing with too much fire here. But then it was all just a ruse, you fool! You took the bait aren't you? Just kidding. You baited your team. And oh, Tree and Salvo. Lover's going to die like Romeo and Juliet gonna bait their jungler as well in an 0 for 3 train wreck. Speaking of deteriorating in front of our eyes.
All right, real question, Swift. Not about the game. How many Romeo and Juliet references are we going to get this season?
Probably none, because I think Juliet survives. Does she kill herself at the end? I don't remember. Well, she did.
Spoilers.
She should have, because that's how a 2023 tragedy would end. All this, man, I had such a good Dementia joke ready, too, and this fucking Blab is with this pressure. Blab has had more ganks this game than I had an entire season as a jungler.
I think that he's had more ganks this game than Salvo did in 2 games.
All right, thank you. Twitch chat confirming I was right here that Juliet does
They
die at
did
the
die.
end. I trust my intuition, not my logic. And the intuition was right.
Alright, so teams looking at probably Rift Herald coming up here. I mean, despite this game just like being crazy on all sides of the map, I mean, we're only seeing about a 700 gold difference. Rift Herald coming up, or is up. Plates are about to fall, so they won't be able to get plates even if they do get Rift Herald. Blab may give up Dragon pressure for this. I think that's fine. Personally, as a jungler, I really don't think dragons are worth it, like 80% of the time.
Honestly, I think the Rifts are a little stronger in the SBL, where teams kind of struggle to crack that first line of towers a lot.
Yep.
Because people, like, they're not as good as pros out, where they know how to dive, like, difficult to execute dives. So getting something that can just crack the map a bit and kind of abuse the fact that a lot of these teams, like, I don't think we really have that good a macro this season. Like, you can really abuse with Rift Heralds. But on the other hand, you could, speaking of having bad macro, you could just give the drag for absolutely nothing because you're no longer in. No, he took it. I'm sorry.
He took Rift Herald.
I'm sorry. Guys, I'm shook right now. Like, I just watched somebody die. I'm afraid they're going to put another bullet through OBS on me.
Blab should be able to take that mid tower whenever he wants, if he wants, with the Rift Herald. Or he could take top. Actually, probably taking top as the play.
Yeah, I wonder if they can maybe go look for a dive on the bad boy and use it to pressure tier 2 here. Oh, no, there's more health on that tower than I thought. But there's 2 levels here.
That's fine. This is like probably 2 or 3 auto attacks from Olaf, like, and Rift Herald taking it.
Remember, lazy, no flash here, stuck inside the hook. They're going to pop everything, not making any potential mistakes here. They're going to clear out those 2 health bars, get Silas his 3rd. His best for how often I've seen him kind of halfway up his own asshole this game. He's actually got a really good scoreline, but Blab coming in with some beautiful tower defense here. Call him the balloons. Unpoppable unless that happens. Blab playing with just a little too much fire. He has to flash defensively. The ignite is ticking.
But he gets to keep the passive there. That would have been real big for this team. As they do have a Nitty as Zac, they have double death prevention passives. Losing them both in the span of 30 seconds would have not been great for the next 10 minutes of this game for the Flex Panthers.
So here we are, state of the game. It's a 1,000 is the gold difference. These teams have traded dragons so far. You look at the individual gold, nearly 2K the lead for Thunder. Oh, 1,200 the lead for Tuesday. That's going to be most of what's going on here. A big lead for 30 as well, just on the backs of... You know, I knew it was going bad for Tree and Salvo. I didn't realize they were both 0-3 and 2. That, I mean, that's really lovery of them to have the same score even.
Yeah, I mean, they died together.
Respect.
Yeah,
just
and
like my hopes and dreams died the last time I played on a team with the 2 of them.
And it's going to be real rough for them even getting back in this game. I mean, Tuesday's going to really have to put a lot on his back, and Lazy Les as well. I feel like this is because both mid laners are really fed. The jungler's really fed for high expectations.
Yeah, I think they need to break the base, or break the T1 line as soon as possible. I think they just need to make it so Thunder can split push. I think Thunder can easily 1v1 anyone that comes to stop him.
And they can honestly do that at any time too. Blab is still sitting on Rift Herald.
Yeah, I think he waited
but
a little too long to use this IMO.
Yeah, it's about to fall off here soon. I assume he takes the blue and then just takes Rift Herald mid.
Yeah, we see 4 members of Flex Panther walking that way.
Thundercunt is in top lane versus the bot lane, but Thundercunt has a lot of levels on top of the bot lane. He needs 12 to level 10.
Well, there's one slow. There comes the Ghost. And Tuesday, if you think that flash is enough to get you to safety, you are a foolish fool, my friends. Tuesday going to be welcome to the Thunderdome here. As we do see Shelly still pushing here. I love Blab here on this flank looking for knockups, and he's going to take it. Oh, takes the passive angle.
Blab still needing to complete his jungle item. He's actually a little late on a lot of farm. He still needs to spend 3 jungle treats to get his smite back up to 1,200 gold, but we see this fight.
Yeah, no ults on Thunder here, so not a chance. Beautiful CC layering. He's going to flash, actually. Yeah, he's going to ghost. He's just really wanted to hold on to his life, but the bad boy shows up. And it's going to be 30, the legendary kill stealer himself.
Yeah, a little bit of Albino Joe action there. Although Albino Joe outside the SBL, because I think Albino Joe's still sitting at like 0 kills.
I do know he was before tonight's games leading the death counts. Thank you, Twitch chat, for pointing that one out last game.
Joe even comments in chat, channeling his energy. Oh wow.
There is a flash. I don't think he's going to need it because he's got a lot of friends in the area. Salvo, anytime Salvo's more than like a single step in front of anyone on his team, I'm nervous now.
Yeah, and we see this dragon coming up here. Second Drake for both teams.
Yeah, the junglers, the farthest members of both teams from this pit currently. Splinter's stopping to do a camp, so like he feels confident that there's no urgency here. As we do see everyone collapsing towards what feels like it's going to be a really dramatic team fight. I pray to God OBS doesn't crash here. As Thunder's going to just say, like, no, I'm going to lead the charge, and his team is ready to follow. Thunder gets the slay on Mr. Tuesday, but his team is in the AoE zone. This might not be great. Salvo flashing defensively. We've got a 1 for 2 in favor of Flex Panther, as Renai is putting down so much pressure here. It looks like they will be able to clean this one up. Thunder playing with every inch of his health bar, and it's not enough. Silas does get the execute. Now, Bestest one just trying to waste some time here. A 2 for 2 somehow with a ton of low health bars. I think Bestest gets the execute, but Flex Panther will get the dragon.
I think he just gets to walk out of here.
And he is going to go walk over to a pink ward he had in the jungle, take a nice safe recall.
And that's second dragon for Flex Panther, but still down a few hundred gold, 34k to 35.4k.
Yeah, pretty marginal amount of gold. It's really more about how the different players, as is SBL tradition, to just have the gold in wildly different opposing places on the map. Should set us up for a really exciting mid game here.
Yeah, and it seems like that on the side of high expectations, they got nothing to stop that Olaf from getting back at Jinx, or at least nothing that they've used so far. They tried using the Jarvan Pit, which is the only real type of CC that they could even possibly use, and Jinx still got ran down.
Yeah, I think Tuesday just a bit too far forward, like not really respecting what the picks were. He didn't have to be on the ramp. He could have been pretty far behind his front line there. But Tuesday probably having his worst game of the season. I'm not going to check the stats on that, but he's been so dominant all season. It feels like by process of elimination, this is probably the weakest it's been. He's still, you know, way ahead of Salvo.
Yep. Yeah, both AD carries not looking like the strongest members of their team. Man, Salvo was sitting there only on Kraken Slayer and Caulfield's Warhammer. He got a long way to go to get that Navori Quick Blade.
Yeah, both these ADs maybe just going to be bait for the opposing divers, which are very heavy on both teams here. We do see some pressure being put out onto Renai here. And now Salvo as well. Splinter just barely doesn't get the knock up there. As man, what a duel! There's three levels on Lazy Laz over the bad boy. Oh no.
Yeah, and there's just nothing yet you can do to even really stop him. Like, like I said, like the only type of CC that you can even put on him is Jarvan ult. And even then, you're trapping him in a cage with Jarvan, who he will probably beat in a 1v1 duel.
So these teams playing this really, really passive, opting to just kind of keep slowly hitting what's available on the map. If we take a look at vision on the mini-map, I mean, Black Panther has so much vision around there, and they're definitely ready if anything breaks out there. I think they should probably commit a little harder to having somebody split up there. That's really my biggest complaint about this game. I just don't think they're using Thunder effectively for what he is.
I agree. He has such a massive lead, or did accumulate such a massive lead over Cho that you really just got to put him in a side lane and
yeah, it's so weird to have a Nidius push, but I think Vlad maybe finally bit off more than he could chew. The passive going to be popped, which means they can hand this kill over to whomever they like. Will it be Splitter? Oh, 30! No, you no! Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Festus one does show up, and Lazy Laz gonna have to try to kite him through some of the AoE here. This is actually really strange. Lazy Laz getting some good damage out, gonna force members to come meet him as he is gonna meet his demise here. 30 and Splitter showing up, a nice hook. Egg gonna be popped. Will 30 take another? No, he is standing.
No, he sits in the labs.
5th killing of the game for the Festus one.
Looking real good on that Silas this time around. I'm excited to see this pick in the SBL. It's always such a hype pick in competitive play.
Let's take another peek at this gold here. So, across the map. Up to a 3,000 gold lead for Thunder, and then still, you know, a massive gold lead for both Tuesday and 30 in the bot lane. Splitter quietly getting up to a pretty big lead here. Not only is he up about 1,300 gold, but he's actually up a level on Blab, which makes sense. You see a pretty big discrepancy in the camps. You're seeing a big discrepancy in the K plus A.
Yeah, just a real rough game coming out here for you know, the Renai circulation jungle. Getting run over by Splinter. On an interesting jungle pick too, because like Zach, you expect to like farm the jungle and like just like get big off of the farm.
Yeah, and Cho did teleports down to Dragon. I thought that was pretty early. Bestus is now teleporting as well. But Cho potentially pickable here. And it looks like Blab is thinking the same thing.
Gonna take a long time.
Yeah, not as much damage as I thought they had there. But Dragon is up.
Yeah, when you have Xayah still has yet to complete her crit multiplication item, it is.
Yeah, and now here we go. Tree taking a bunch of damage, gonna get no offensive moves out. And oh my god, everyone is just clumped up for the wombo, for the combo. Festus is gonna lose his life, but he's gonna trade it for a lot. Lazy Laz, no flash here. He just used it, gonna go down. Thunder, the only escaper, and no, he does not. Sniped away by Tuesday. A 1-4-5 for high expectations.
And that's the fight that I feel like ends the game right there. I mean, whether this game is over here in the next couple of minutes or not, but that is a game-defining fight right there in that corridor.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to get Dragon, and I think they're going to get Baron out of this as well. They are rushing there. There's still 10 seconds before Renai spawns. I mean, everyone would take so long to get here. Absolutely massive botched team fight from Flex Panther.
They do have Shrelia's, but we're going to take a little bit of awkward path coming out. A little bit of slow misstep. Yeah, they're not even going to...
Yeah, I think the play is to just get it based on those timings.
Yeah, right now, high expectations only sitting on one tower.
Yeah, that's so wild. They've only taken one tower.
They should take quite a few with this Baron coming up here. Do the rest of the jungle. Daya still has yet to complete that that Navori quick blade she's looking for. Oh, there we go. And gets a pink ward.
Also, real quick, folks, as we approach the end of this game, Mr. the Xmas Tree, I repeat, Mr. the Xmas Tree, if you're watching right now, could you please be available when this game ends? Because I need to speak to you about being my emergency backup tree. Oh, he's obviously not watching these play. Well, folks, when this game ends, you're going to help me harass this man down. We got to make sure we can find him. But first, we're going to find a team fight here. Mr. Tuesday flashing defensively. Is this the opening the Flex Panther needs? Tree getting absolutely nothing done here. Blab zoning with no one there to back him up. And now Lazy in a terrible, terrible spot. He is going to be forced out. This one 30 takes a lot of damage, but it's not going to matter. Silas going deep. Silas getting a kill. 1 for 2. Baron creeps pushing. Everyone zoned out. This could be a very, very damaging play.
And I feel like we just talked about it this week in the league chat Discord, is how like you never want to fight the team with Baron because then you just lose more, and that's exactly what's going to happen to the Flex Panthers here. High expectations, got a couple of kills, and now can just roll their entire base.
Yeah, I mean they're hoping that they can outpush with Thunder on the far side of the map, but I don't think this play was worth it. They're not gonna.
Are they gonna end?
Are they gonna do the T1 to end push, the legendary play? No, they're gonna back out. They're gonna teleport to try to pick off the cunt. They're not gonna be able to get any CC on him, but he has nowhere to go. So he's gonna see if he can get a solo kill here. As that teleport did get interrupted. Oh wait, oh my god. Bad boy gonna chop there, and now back in the mid lane. Demacia imprisoning the entirety of Flex Panther, sending them to the Shadow Realm, and just like that, the entire team vanishes. 2 separate skirmishes, and they're gonna do it. T1 to GG. All in one Baron push.
That is impressive out of high expectations.
Absolute insanity.
Oh, and the surrender vote. The surrender vote. Oh my god, it's competitive. What if they didn't end?
But they did. And that means we can take a peek at some numbers here. Wild game.
I feel like this is another one of those games where Dan gets the right and in the SBL Discord, GG top diff, and then talk about the pressure. Yeah, exactly. After we see these top laners just look so good styling on him, and watch his team just roll over the rest of the map to victory. Wow, we see those Jace numbers are so huge in the end.
Flex Panther's also in the last game, so I was definitely fed some incorrect intel. Wait, is that overlay right? Let me look.
I'm just going to announcements. So yeah, it's Flex Panthers versus Tizzy and the Smash Bros.
All right, who's not a stream? Who's a potential streamer that's not playing? Is there anyone out there that can potentially stream if I die?
That would be 30?
30. Thank you. Folks, we're going on mutes. I am probably going to, at a minimum, restart my PC while we have a minute between these games. So we're going to actually lose the stream for a few while I do that. But I'm going to go try to coordinate real fast. I will let you know once I know what we're doing.
User joined your channel.
All right, my friends, welcome back. We do have the backup streamer, Ex-Commissioner 30 will be ready and waiting in case anything happens to me. However, to hopefully reduce the likelihood, I'm going to try restarting my PC real fast. It should only be offline for a couple of minutes here, as I do have a wonderful solid-state hard drive, and we're going to hope that